In Avatars of Story, Marie-Laure Ryan states, "Narrativity is not an intrinsic property of the text, but rather a dimension relative to the context and to the interests of the participants. A sequence of events like Mary was poor, then Mary won the lottery, then Mary was rich, would not make the grade as the content of fictional story, but it becomes very tellable if it is presented as true fact and concerns an acquaintance of the listener." By pairing this quote with the purely distinct experiences that Jordan and Dina had while playing The Walking Dead, our gameplay reinforced the truthfulness of Ryan's statement. Jordan and Dina's experiences were very dissimilar due to their past living in Georgia and Massachusetts. In Clementine and Lee's journey to find her parents, they traveled through various locations in Georgia. Having lived in Georgia, Dina felt a deep level of realism and fear during her gameplay because the cast of The Walking Dead repeatedly mentioned places in Georgia that she personally knows. In this scene, the policeman describes Peachtree exit of 285, a major highway exit near Atlanta, as well as Macon, a well-known city in Georgia, and UGA, an enormous public university that the majority of Dina's friends attended in Athens, Georgia. Because Jordan attended high school in Massachusetts, he had a very different experience playing this game. As Jordan was unfamiliar with the locations named and the dialects spoken throughout this game, he lacked any personal connection with these aspects of The Walking Dead, and consequently the game's locations and vernacular seemed completely fictionalized in his mind. Ryan's quote presents this affect when she claims that a story becomes more tellable and adds narrativity as each participant brings their own dimension of context and narration to the work with which they are interacting. Ryan also believes that a story grows more compelling when segments of the story are presented as facts and concern the listener, not an acquaintance in the scenario, but a location. This scene includes one of the more ominous sequences of The Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 2. By placing the reactions of Dina and Jordan side by side, one can see the vastly contrasting experiences that each player had as they interacted with this work. And upon further analysis, one can also witness the effects of Ryan's quote upon each player. As stated before, the geographical terms and accents caused the entire plot of The Walking Dead to seem more realistic, and therefore more terrifying to Dina, while this effect was lost on Jordan. It is thereby logical that in one of the most dramatic and surprising scenes of this episode that Dina would react as she did. The usage of geographical elements lead to mounting fear and anxiety, which culminated in Dina's reaction. In comparison, Jordan responded to the scene in a manner opposite to Dina. Instead of the fright and nervousness that Dina displayed, Jordan appeared relaxed and tranquil. To summarize, Dina and Jordan's gameplay personifies author Ryan's quotation as each participant brought their own layers of context, as well as their own interests, to the work with which they interact. Ryan's quote can justify how two players responding to the same work can have two highly divergent experiences, as each person alters the narrative of the game based in correlation with their own personal backgrounds. To Dina, The Walking Dead was a frightfully realistic game that struck close to home as environments in which she was raised became infested with zombies. To Jordan, however, The Walking Dead was set in a fictionalized world in which the terms and accents were absolutely foreign, which removed much of the fear and suspense that Dina felt, thereby explaining why each person's experience with The Walking Dead was entirely different.